A neighbor told me she was gonna set an old dresser by the curb to be picked up by trash the next day. So, like any good DIYer, I said I'd love to take it off her hands. But when I brought it home, it was in pieces. I wasn't really prepared for how rough the condition of the dresser was gonna be, but I figured I'd give fixing it a go. I decided to start at the bottom, where multiple feet were missing, wiping it down and getting rid of any dust or grime stuck to the dresser. Safety first, because fumes. I prepped the dislodged feet and the surface area I'd be reattaching them to. But instead of using the screws that were way too small, I reached for the hero of this project, Titebond Instant Bond Adhesive. It's incredibly easy to apply with the detailed nozzle. Once I placed the foot, it only took about 20 seconds for it to set. And because it's a two-part bond, it took less than a minute for it to initially cure. I did this for all of the feet that were unattached, and I was able to secure them firmly without having to use any screws. I also used it to repair the rails that had come loose, using it to reinforce the screws where the material had come loose and it couldn't hang on. One of the entire front panels was missing, pulled off on accident while trying to transport it. But Titebond Instant Bond Adhesive was perfect for reapplying this huge and really important piece of trim to the dresser. Once the main repairs on the dresser body were done, I turned my attention to this drawer that was holding on by a single screw and a prayer. And this is where Titebond's Instant Bond Adhesive was again so helpful. It's primarily designed for wood and wood products, but it works for a variety of materials, which was perfect for this drawer that had multiple different types of things I was trying to glue back together. With all the old handles removed and repairs done, I went ahead and wiped down all of my drawer fronts to make sure I had a clean area to work with. And this was important because my plan was to attach these bamboo pole wrap panels to the front of each drawer. I rolled the panels out on the front of each drawer, then I used the utility knife to cut them down to size. But that only took care of the length. I used a Sharpie to mark the height of each drawer, then rolled up the bamboo panels so that I could cut them down with the miter saw. You might not believe me based on the footage, but I could actually see the Sharpie poking through the mesh on the other side, so I knew where I needed to cut. My husband really wanted to help with this part, so I let him. I repeated this process with every other drawer, cutting the panels down to length with the utility knife and to height with the miter saw. Once that was done, I did an invisible but very important step. I used more of the adhesive gel to apply some scrap pieces of MDF that I had to the centers of the drawer fronts. If you notice, the edges of the drawer are much higher than the center, so I'll need these pieces to have something to drill into when I add the new handles. And when I tell you the Titebond Instant Bond Adhesive was the hero of this entire project, I am not joking. I carefully added it along the edges of the drawer, then place my bamboo panels on top of it. Because it has a long working time of up to 30 seconds, I had plenty of time to adjust it and make sure that the panel laid exactly where I wanted it to before it cured. I repeated this process again and again for all 6 of the drawer fronts, adding adhesive and some scrap MDF pieces to the front, and I can't stress enough how easy it was to apply this product. Just a gentle squeeze and the narrow, detailed tip made sure I only got product exactly where I wanted it. That 30-second work time was a lifesaver, allowing me to get the panels lined up exactly right before they set. With all 6 drawer fronts done, it was time to turn my attention back to the main body of the dresser. I used my shop vac to sweep up any dust or debris still lying on the bottom. Then I used a degreaser to wipe down the top of the dresser. It helped get any oil from fingers, nail polish, or whatever other products ended up on this dresser off. And this is really important because if you jump straight to sanding, you might accidentally rub some of those oils further down into the wood. I did this as well on the insides of the dresser under where the drawers go. Then I shifted to sanding. Because I knew that this dresser had a really thin veneer, I used 220 grit sandpaper so I could go slow and try not to blow completely through it when I could avoid it. There was still a ton of dried, baked-on products on the top of this dresser. Again, I'm guessing nail polish or some kind of hair product. The sanding helped a lot with getting a smoother surface, but some of those larger bumps still wouldn't come down, so I used a razor blade to manually scrape them off. And it actually worked really well. I used the sanding block to go along the edges where my sander couldn't conform to the curves of the dresser. That worked really great too. I did the same thing along the front of the dresser. Then it was time for a few final repairs to the dresser. Titebond's Instant Bond Adhesive was perfect for applying glue to these really hard to reach areas. And because it grabs on so quickly, it's also great for places where it's hard to place wood clamps to hold things in place. With all repairs now done, I used my degreaser again on the top of the dresser to make sure I got all the dust I created off. And here's a fun painting tip for you. Use painter's tape on the surface of your paint roller before you use it. This will pull off any loose lint that could mess up your finish. The product I'm using is actually a primer, paint, and sealant all in one. I found it in this beautiful soft gray color that I thought would contrast the old finish really well. I took my time here trying to get as even and flat of a finish as I could so I wouldn't have any weird streaks. I did keep in mind though that I'd have to do multiple coats, so I didn't panic when I still saw the old finish poking through after the first coat. I got super in the zone for this, making sure I covered every detail on the tops, sides, and front of the dresser. The paintbrush was super helpful for getting into those tight areas, and then I'd come back through with a roller to smooth it out. I continued the painting portion with the drawers themselves, using the roller to cover the front and sides of only 4 of them. I wanted to do something a little bit different with the last 2. You'll see why in a minute. The paint dried so well, and I could already see how this was all going to come together. Now, for those last 2 drawers that I mentioned, I wanted to use the natural finish of the bamboo. I thought it would look great as 2 accent drawers. So I took some painter's tape and went along the edge of the drawers, covering the bamboo portions, but leaving the old brown finish exposed so I could cover it with the new gray paint. It only took me a few minutes to paint them once they were taped off, and then I set them all to the side to dry. Once the drawers were dry to the touch, I did a test fit to make sure they all fit together. I was still being really careful though because I knew the paint wasn't fully cured, but I was too impatient. I wanted to see how it was going to look. A few small tweaks, and I was finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was also really glad that I left the top 2 drawers as natural bamboo. And this is maybe my favorite part besides painting, adding hardware. I used some painter's tape onto which I had marked the distance of the screws for my handles. I drilled the holes, fed the screws through, and attached them to the handles. I went with a simple, modern black handle that I thought would really pop on both the bamboo and the gray. And boy, did it. It looked so good, and it was the final piece to bring this whole project together. Looking back, I can't believe this is the same dresser that got to my house in pieces. All it took was a little imagination, hard work, and a ton of Tight Bond Instant Bond adhesive gel. You would never guess that a huge amount of the pieces on this project are being held together by adhesive. But with Tight Bond's superior strength bonds, I have no doubt it's going to last for a really long time. You know those plain, builder grade windows that just feel unfinished? My house is full of them. So, today I'm doing something about it, starting with the windows in my loft. First up, removing the old windowsill. I used a utility knife to trace around the edges of the sill and separate it from the caulk. Once I had cut all the way through, I raised the window to try to avoid breaking it, and then with a hammer and pry tool, I pulled the sill off. Once it was out, I made sure to remove any old caulk or debris that was left behind. After measuring the work area, I went downstairs to cut a new windowsill. I used the old sill I removed as a reference and measured out a few extra inches on each side. You'll see why in a minute. Then, I pulled out my circular saw to cut the sill to size. To cut the edges, I used my jigsaw because it gave me a little bit more control. With that done, I took the new sill up to the window and it was a perfect fit. I went ahead and nailed that down so it wouldn't go anywhere. And here's why I made the new sill wider than the old one. To add window casing. Once I cut some trim to the length of the window, I pulled out my secret weapon, Titebond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue. The first thing I noticed was how easy it was to apply the glue. The applicator tip made sure I only got glue exactly where I wanted it and really cut down on the mess. It has a really strong initial tack, so when I put pieces in place, they stay. And even with that, I love that I get a much longer open time, allowing me to adjust pieces before they fully set to make sure everything is nice and square. And any squeeze out, it wipes away easily with water. I added a few nails to keep the boards in place while the glue dries. Once everything was set and sturdy, all I had to do was come back through and fill any gaps with caulk. You really don't want to skip this step because that's what makes your project look more finished. And that was it. Typebond 3 helped me give my windows a little more character and make them actually feel finished. But here's my favorite thing about it. It's not just great for indoor projects, it's also great for exterior applications. My pergola has seen better days, and I think it's finally time that I replace some of these warped pieces of wood. So first things first, I used my pry tool again to create some separation between the top and bottom pieces. I pulled out any screws that could be removed, and then I pried the wood off of the stubborn ones. With the warped wood removed, I blew off any debris so I could have a clean working surface. I measured out the size of my new piece, then headed to the garage to cut it. And here's where Type Bond 3 really made this project come together. Because of its superior bond strength, I didn't have to use any screws to hold my new piece in place. I just clamped it down, waited about 30 minutes, and that new board wasn't going anywhere. And because it's the first ever one-part water cleanup wood glue to be proven waterproof, I get to enjoy my pergola, rain or shine. Titebond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue has quickly become my go-to partner for all my home projects, and I think it will for you too. Thanks to Titebond for sponsoring this video.